Hello, good evening. Can you please unmute and confirm if you can hear me?
Good evening, ma. I can hear you, ma.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you. How was our day?
It was
Oh,
awesome.
all right. Thank you. So, let's continue from where we stopped last class. But before we do that, are we having any issue regarding our current tax, the stage 4 tax? Is any one of us having any issue regarding the tax? So we can quickly talk about that before we move on to today's section. Anyone? Okay. So last class we were talking about variables and environments. We were unable to finish the variables and environments, so we are going to continue from there. Hopefully, we will be able to round this section up. And next class, we are going to start the scripting parts of the Postman. So can you see my screen?
Yes, ma. I can see your screen.
Yes,
All right,
ma'am.
all right, thank you. So last class we talked about types of variables. Who wants to give us a quick recap of the type of variables we mentioned last class? Anyone? Yeah, now we talked about types of variables last class, and we're able to address two, and we still have others that we are yet to address. So who wants to give us a quick recap of the types of variables we have in Postman? Anyone?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Becca.
Okay. We have collection variable, global variable,
Okay.
local variable.
Okay.
Those are the ones I can remember.
All right. Yeah, we have the collection variable, the global variable, and the local variable. We have other two types of variable that has not been mentioned yet. So I want to remind us. We mentioned the variable last class before we move to the Postman. So anyone?
All right, environment variable and
Environment
data.
variable and data variable. Thank you very much. So we have 5 types of variables. We have the collection, we have the collection, we have the local, we have the data, we have the environment, and we have the global. So last class, we were able to work with the local and the data variable. So today we'll continue from the next type of variable, that is the environment variable. The environment variable. So as I've explained last class, right? Environment variables, they are limited to a specific environment and they can be accessed within that environment. If you create a variable and you set it to be an environment variable, you cannot access that type of variable if you are not in that environment. It's environment specific. For example, I have a URL, I have a dev environment, I have a dev URL, I have a staging URL in the QA environment, and I have the production environment. So if I set a variable in the production environment, I'm just citing an example, that is a different URL. I cannot use that variable. If it's an environment variable, I cannot use it in the staging or in the dev. It is only limited to that environment I created it for, either development, either staging, or either production. So environment variable, they are limited to the environment that we create it for, and they work for that specific environment. Do we understand? Do you have any question before we go and before we move on to a practical example for Postman? Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, please let's open our Postman app, everybody. Can you see my Postman screen? I want to believe I'm sharing on my screen this time around.
Yes.
Okay. So mm, so let's create what should we start from? Okay. Now, as I've said earlier, right, environment variable is only limited to a particular environment that is created for. Let's create, do you have, let me check, class tags. Okay, can we open these class tags, everyone? I want us to open these class tags. We have it in our collection also. We have a collection named class tags, right? I want to be sure every one of us have it.
Yes.
Okay. So let's just open the collection instead of recreating a new one. Let's open the collection, and this time around, I want us to don't mind me. I don't think we should be having this, but I want us to run the collection with get a single product. This should get a single product for us. Yes. Open your class tags collection and run the get a single product. And run the get a single product request. Are we on the same page, everyone? Can I continue?
Yes.
All right. What about others? Can I continue? I want us to, if we cannot even talk, just react anything. So I'll know we're on the
F1.
same page. All right, thank you. Okay, so now I want to make this URL. Someone mic is not muted. Okay, I want to make this URL. Since I'm having a get request and I'm using the same URL, and even for this post request, I'm using the same URL. I want to make this URL a variable in my environment. That's whenever I'm in this environment, let's say, for example, I want to make this URL a variable in production environment. So whenever I'm in the production environment, I want to be able to reference this URL as a variable in my request. So I won't need to be typing this URL anytime I needed it. Instead, I just want to call the variable that is holding the URL, and I'll be able to send any request I want to send with it. So to do that, to create a variable in your environment variable, right, you can come to your environment tab. You can come to your environment tab and create a new environment. This comes to environment tab here and click on create new environment. So you can rename your environment. Let's say, for example, I want to name this environment production. I want to name this environment production. Now, this is where I want to create the variable. I have variable and I have initial value and current value. I have variable, initial value, and current value. So what I would do, I'll just copy this URL. I'll copy this URL. I'll come to the production environment that I'm about to create. The variable name, what is my variable name? I want to name it URL. Then what is the initial value and the current value? Most of the time, the initial value is also equals to the current value. So I can include this part or I can delete the part. But let me include it. If I include this part, anytime I want to send a request, I'll have to, no, the best, let me just remove it. Let's just have it like this. Okay. So then I can save. So after saving, I'll come to my get all products.
Now you are fast, so we are trying to catch up with you.
Oh, sorry, Victor. Sorry. Okay. So let me just, should I go over it again? I want us to create a new environment. By doing that, just click on this button, create new environment. Click on the create new environment. Rename your environment as production. And the whatever URL you want to use for that environment. You know, we have talked that variable is just you are just trying to store a particular URL, a particular token or anything, so that you'll be able to use it later, you'll be able to reference it later. Instead of repeating, whenever we need that URL, instead of having to type it, we actually, it will be easy for us to reference it, to be able for us to access it. So I asked us to create a new environment. We should name it production. Then our variable simply means our variable name. We'll add the variable name here. And in our initial value, we will paste the link, the URL, the link of that request that we want to store as a variable. We'll paste it in the initial value and the current value. Please let me know if we are done. I'm trying to pause for us to be on the same page in case if we are not. And do we understand? Do you have any question?
Ma, this variable, does it affect any other collection, this environment variable?
Yes, environment variable affects other collections in as much as you are in that environment. Do you get?
Okay, I was talking, I didn't know I was muted. I mean, like, if you have a file already on your Postman, yeah, and
Yes.
you are about to create another environment, for example, will it also affect the first file that you have?
I don't really get your question.
Okay,
Like,
so
you
for
mean
example, yes, you have class tags
I
now,
have
right?
class tags now,
And you have authorization, for
and I
example.
have authorization. Okay.
Yes. So now this variable, environment variable that you're about to set now, will it affect authorization?
Will it affect authorization?
Yes.
Yes. If I'm in that environment, yes. It will, I will also be able to use it in authorization. I will be able to use it in any of this collection. If I
Okay.
am
So what if
in
it's
that
not the same URL?
environment, if I am in that environment,
So what
Becca,
if it's not the same URL?
if you did not reference it, it will not affect it. It's not like when
Oh,
you have set a variable, it's going, no, you have to reference, they are still going there. You have to
oh,
reference it.
okay.
If you did not reference it, it will not affect it. Yes, you are still going there. All right, can we move on now? And like, can I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Emmanuel. Victor, can we continue now? Are we on the same page?
Yes, yeah.
All right, Soma.
Yes, ma.
All right, thank you. So now I want you to save. When you have create, please make sure you save. Have you saved yours also? Just click on this save button. Please, I want us to save. Now, currently, yes, if you check this environment tab, this no environment, I'm not in any environment, like I'm not working with any environment currently. So if I want to use any environment to run any of my collection to run any of my URL, then I'll need to set the environment. Like I want to say, okay, for this collection or for anything I'm about to run, I want to be running it using the production environment. So I want us to change our environment from no environment to the production environment. So after you have created your environment, you will change your environment to the to the environment you want to use. Because if you do not change it, there's no way. If you do not change it, I try to reference it, it will not see it. I'm still going to do a practical example of that also. Have we changed to production environment, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now let's go back to our get single product, right? Now we are going to remove this. So the syntax for referencing variable is double curly braces. You see that immediately I enter double curly braces, you can see it's giving me suggestion. This is the suggestion here. This is an environment. This is an environment variable. This is a global variable. So it's actually bringing it from the suggestion that, okay, yes, you have an environment variable. You can just click on that if you are getting the suggestion. And if you are not, right, you can just enter double curly braces, open and close the curly braces, right, and enter your variable name the same way you type it. The same way you type it. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. Who can tell me what happened to my URL?
It was not correct. It was not.
Why was it not correct? I did something and I was getting an error. This URL is not referenced.
The
And
curly
it's,
braces are not correct. The open bracket and close bracket are not correct.
the curly braces are not correct. They are correct now.
Correct.
The
The curly
closing,
braces are correct.
the after the first curly braces, the second one you are using brackets, then you close it with
No, I'm
curly.
not using bracket too. You can check very well. Almost Sonia. You can check. I'm not using brackets. Who can tell me why I'm having error? Okay. To save ourselves time. Right? When I was creating this URL, I added space. So when I was trying to reference it, I did not add the space. I just click on the space and it's properly referenced. So if you are trying to create your own URL, let me come back to this place, to this production. Let me come back to this production. You see that there is a space here. If I remove this space and I save, right? If I come back to get all requests, it will not see it again. Do you get the point now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So we should be, so sometimes you might feel like it's not properly referenced. No, it's just because of the name. Just because of the name. That's why it was not. So this is how it should be without the space, and it should be properly referenced now. So if I send my request now, I should be able to get a successful request, and not just this request, right? If I want to send this get sort by request, since I'm still in the production environments that already have this URL, I will just do the same thing instead of using instead of copy and paste the request on so I'll just send it straight. So this should work in as much as I reference it. Becca, that will take me back to your question. I reference it. And if I did not reference it, right? Let's say I have an array query request here. I'm looking, so it's like I have okay, this is a different URL. So I did not reference it. I'll be able to run this URL because it was not referenced. Becca, do you understand now?
Yes, ma.
All right. So that is how we create.
Excuse me, ma. My own is showing would not send requests.
Why?
I don't know.
Is your data on? Is your variable properly referenced?
Yes, and I've changed the to the environment.
I have changed this environment.
Yes, I've changed everything. You're properly referenced.
So what could be wrong? Can you share your screen, or you can send me a screenshot of your screen? Anyone?
I'll send you a screenshot now.
All right. So you can send a screenshot to the chat. And when you have done that, let me know. So that is how we reference variable using environment.
Excuse me, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm lost. I don't know. Okay, I reference the single product. I reference the URL. So let's say I want to reference let's say the search product. Am I to impute the URL again?
No, that is the purpose of variable. If you want to, you're just
But
going
it's not
to
showing. What should I do?
Soma.
Yes.
For every request that you want to send that have the same URL as this http.domainjson.com, you will
Yes.
just come to the request tab, right? Okay, let me go to this select. Can you see my screen somehow?
Yes, I can see your
You
screen.
see that currently I'm having http slash products, but I want to use variable instead of this.
Yes.
So I'll have to just remove this and I'll reference it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to reference them one after the other. I thought when you impute the URL in one, it affects the rest.
No, it does not affect. It does not automatically affect. That was what I was trying to explain. According to the question Becca asked, it does not automatically affect. You have to reference the URL if you want to use it. Like you have to call the variable if you want to use it. And if you're not using it, it's fine. You can leave it.
Mama, okay.
Check the chat. I sent the screenshot in the chat.
All right.
Excuse me,
Please.
ma.
Yes, ma'am.
But if we're about to start a project, right? We
Yes,
then
ma'am.
save our variable first. We do not need to be
Yes.
writing the URL. We can just use the.
Yes. That's actually the best practice. Yes. Oh, Peace, your hand is raised, right? You can unmute and talk.
Hi, good evening. Okay, I'm lost too from beginning. I was trying to create production and it's saying environment not found. I kind of missed a part. Sorry, my network. Sorry, so that I can meet up.
Peace, you said you are trying to create production. Peace, you said you are trying to create production and it said environment
Yes,
not found.
variable for production. Yes,
I
like
don't.
I created a new environment and
Okay.
then named it production.
Okay.
Okay, just give me like a recap so that I can retrace to where I maybe skipped.
Okay,
Thank you.
you have to create a new environment. Peace. So you have to create a new environment. Like come to this button, you click on your create environment. Then you rename your environment to anything. Then under your variable, right, you have to attach the name. The name example, it can be URL, it can be anything you want to name it, and you add your value to this and that. So then you save, make sure you save your changes. Then when you are done, you come to this tab. Ideally, I was having no environment. You come to this tab, then you change your
Okay.
environment from no environment to the production environment. Then you go to your request, you
Okay.
reference it using this double curly braces to call it. Then you send your request. Peace. I don't know if
Okay.
you get that.
So the question now, yes, I do. The question I want to ask is, this referencing with curly bracket, this URL, must it be a URL? I'm asking if you can use another
It
thing
is
that
the
is not
name you
URL.
use for the variable that you will call. Example, if I want to, in my production environment, this is name. This name can be Tife.
Okay.
Yes, and I save it. So if I come to this get all, see, there's no URL again. Then I can call Tife. Can you see?
Okay. Yeah, I do.
Yes. The name can be anything.
Okay.
It is the name. Oh, almost Sonia. Oh, please, you get that.
All right. Thank.
Yes, you're welcome. Almost Sonia.
Yes, I do.
I'm here, ma.
Thank
Almost, are you working
you.
on Postman desktop or you are working on browser
Desktop.
desktop? Can you open your console, view your console? To do
Okay.
that, yes, view your console. Let me see what's going on. I really can't.
Are you sure you did not use a capital letter U while saving and it's calling small letter U?
Okay, almost I can also check with that also. Almost I can view your console. Your console should also tell us what's going on.
Should I send
Or
screenshot of the console?
yes, you can share us the screenshots of the console. All right. So do you understand how environment variable work? Do you understand how environment variable work? Can we move on from there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Samuel, you have a question. You can unmute and talk.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I'm very, very sorry for joining the meeting late. I think I'm confused in the place where the URL is being chosen from. When you went to environment, I'm following though, environment, then can you please just, as I'm saying, you just follow, please. Environment, then after creating a new environment, you type in production. So after putting in the URL and I saw a URL itself, dummy something from. Where is that URL picked from?
Almost sorry, Samuel.
Yes, ma'am.
Samuel, sorry, I'm going to give you another walkthrough, right? I'm going to do a quick
Okay.
walkthrough. Give me a minute. Almost Sonia, do you see your mistake now?
No, I'm just seeing red everywhere.
You're just saying red, red, red. You should be able to know your mistake. Who can tell almost Sonia what he's trying to do? Anyone? Is this thing not big enough? I'm trying to zoom this your first image to confirm if what I'm seeing in the console is right. Okay. URL. The console is saying you have HTTP first. HTTP// Omosoya, can you create a new, your console is saying you have HTTP first. Like, can you see my screen, Omosoya?
I can see
Hello?
I can see your screen.
Yes, this is what is actually saying. It's actually using the HTTP first, which is going to give, what's this purple? See, it's actually saying you are sending a GET request to this URL, http:// before you reference this URL. Do you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes. So what you can do now is to actually try to copy. This is what it's saying. This is what your, or you should go to that, send a screenshot of your URL of your but or you should try to first, but here is only a URL you are referencing, so I don't know where the HTTP is coming from. This is what you can do, Omosoya. Create a new record, right? Create a new record, a new get record, and try to reference it. Just copy this remaining parts and try to send the request. A new get record, try to reference and send it. If you have the same issue, as this, then but this is what your, then you have to send a screenshot of your production. Just send me a screenshot. Send me a screenshot of your production URL. Do you understand? Almost, do you understand?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. So that is
All
the
right.
screen of my URL.
Okay, try to check with the second one. Try to create a new record and see what response you have. But that is what is actually coming out to your console. If I check my console now, and for this, you see that it's bringing this URL, HTTP, see what is bringing to my own console, which is the right URL. Can you see this? So, but
Yes,
your own, yes, but your own is saying http:// your URL, which might be like, oh, you did not properly referenced it, or is actually seeing another HTTP apart from the one you use. So just try to create a new record and let's see how it works. All right, Samuel, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so we are talking about an environment variable, right? I just want to give you a quick walkthrough, right? So we are talking about environment variable, and we say that environment variable actually works for every collections. In as much as you are in that environment, you can send it for the multiple requests. For multiple requests,
It's working, ma. It's working, ma. It's working, ma.
It's working now.
Yes,
all right, no problem. Okay, so Samuel, are we on the same page?
Yes, I'm currently on the same
All
page.
right. So ask us to create a new environment, and to do so, we just come to this environment tab and click on create. Then you create your new environment. So your new environment, I ask us to name it production. Now, for the variable, that is the name of the environment, I ask us to name it URL. And the initial value and the current value is actually the URL you want to use, right? Then for this class, we are using this dummy.json first. So you will paste the URL you want to use in your environment, in your production variable, like that is the environment you want to create. You will paste it here. You paste your URL here, and you will paste it here also. Then you will save. So after you have saved, Sam, do you understand? Can I continue from here?
Yes, I'm following.
All right. So after we have saved the record, right? We can now come to the request we want to use it for. For this class, I asked us to use the class tags, the get single
Sorry, I'm
product.
very sorry. I'm very sorry. I think I'm following, so I have gotten it. Exactly what you did in the class. Got it to the very back.
I
Sorry,
can't hear you, Sam. You are not audible.
Okay, hello, ma.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hello.
Yes, I
Okay,
can
so
hear you.
where I wanted clarification was the URL we're going to use for the initial in the environment.
Okay, have you now get the URL we are supposed to use now?
Yes, I have gotten it and I've tested it. It's worked fine. It brought out 22 and 200. Okay.
All right. So we can move
Thank you.
on. All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe everyone is on the same page now. So we can move. So that's how environment variable work. Mind you, you can create as many as environments you like. You can have your production environment, you can have your staging environment, you can have your dev environment. The purpose of us creating environments is just when we have same site but different URL. And if we want to test the API, right, we are not going to be using the same API. For example, I think I showed you this application last class. Okay, for this application, right, this is the staging. You can see HTTP Wells app staging. This is the staging. This is a different URL. And this is the dev. You can see http://app.dev. It's still the same application, but the environments are different. And the response from each environment are going to be different. So we are just going to be creating our environment variable for that kind of app that have different environments, and we are to test all the APIs. So now let's go to collection variable. Collection variable. Now for this class tags, we want to create a collection variable. I want to create a collection variable. Let me go back to my slide. Okay. Now, collection variables, they are specific to a particular collection, and it can only be accessed within a particular collection. Like if I create a collection variables, if I'm not in that collection, I will not be able to access it. I can only access a collection variable within that collection. And if I reference it, I'll be able to access it. And if I'm out of that collection, I'll not be able to access that type of variable again because it is limited to a particular collection. Now let's come to our Postman app table. Hope I'm still in the class, huh?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, all right. Thank you. Okay, so let's come to this class task collection. I want to create a collection variable now. I want to reference it. Now, this is a class tags collection. I want us to click on it. Just click on the class tags itself, not any folder inside, but the class tags itself. Have you done that? Can I continue? All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, you can.
All right. Thank you, Manuel. Okay, so we can see we have overview, authorization, scripts, and variable. Now, for now, this is what we want to test. We want to add a variable to our collection, which is the class tags collection. We want to add variable to it. So we are going to be using COL test as our variable name. And our URL will be the same. Our URL will be the same. Then we save. So this is a collection variable. This is a collection variable. Have we done that? Okay, some more. Okay, I'll proceed. So this is a collection variable, right? I've created a new collection variable for this collection. Now, if I come to this get all products, right? And I try to reference CO health test, you can see, and I send my request, all things being equal, I should be getting 200. Okay. Have we done that? Please confirm you can reference it. Any collection, any request, you can come to the post request too. You can use it for any method. You can decide to use post. This is a post request. Your health test. And you send your request. Have we done that? Are we getting the same result? So, Emmanuel,
Yes, I just
Yes,
came from
yes.
200. Okay.
I got the same result. 200.
200.
So
Okay. Mosoya.
Yes, I'm good to go, ma.
All right. Soma, Victor, Becca, can we proceed?
Yes,
We are
ma'am.
good.
All right. Thank you. So this is how we reference a particular variable within a collection. Now, do you have any collection, another collection in our Postman, like in our workspace, like this authorization? I don't know if you have this authorization. I just want us to try to access the CO health test in another collection, and let me see what our response is. Try
Okay.
to access the CO health test in another collection other than class tags that we actually added it to. And let me see what our response is. Have anyone sent a request? Have we tried to do that? I want to know
sorry,
what
my
the
opinion, ma'am.
response is. Sir?
Yes.
So what are you getting?
I'm getting no send request.
Okay. Were you getting red
Hello,
here
ma'am.
or you are getting blue?
Yes, I got the red. And
You
if I
get
didn't
red.
Yeah,
get
I'm
it,
getting red. It's red.
Okay, do you understand why we are getting the red?
So for my observation, I was yes.
Okay, do you understand why we are getting the red, right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Now I want us to reference the environment variable in another collection. The environment.
Ma, why are we getting red?
So now we are getting red because that serial test was a variable that is
Needs
for a
authentication.
collection. No, it does not need authentication. It's for, we created a collection variable, not an environment variable. As I've explained earlier, right? The collection variable is limited to the collection that is being created for. We created the variable inside this class tags collection, and we
Yes.
can only reference it for any request within
Under
the
the
class tags. If we move out of this class
okay.
tags to anyone like this authorization, we will not be able to reference it and will not be able to send our request.
Okay.
Yes. So I want us to try to reference the environment variable in another collection, maybe like this authorization.
It's showing blue.
It's showing blue, then send your request.
It's 200, okay.
It's 200, okay. Yes. Do you understand why you're able to send for environment?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So sorry, ma. But why do people use collection? Why not just use environment?
It depends. It's the decision of the tester.
Oh, okay. So it's not like it's compulsory you use any one in particular.
No, it's not compulsory. You actually use the one. Sometimes your collections might be designed in a way that this URL for a collection might be different from another URL for another collection. So for that kind of case, they will just use collection instead of environment. I'm just saying it depends on. That's why I said it's actually this depend on the tester. The tester might organize his collection to be URL different. Like, okay, this URL would be different from this URL, and we organize his collection like the dev environments and like that. But the best practice, right, is to create environments. If you're having different URL, just create environments and you work with your environment instead of collection. But it actually depends on the tester.
Okay, if I'm understanding well enough, you are trying to say that if we should create an environment, a variable, it works for the entire collection there, everything there. But if we are to create for a collection variable, it's just for the party, it's limited to just the particular, let's say under the get collection, everything under the get, it works for only that collection, right?
Yes, ma'am. No, not everything under the.
Like
Come again.
under that, I'm saying, if I'm
Yes,
understanding what you're saying, if we are to
yes,
create like an environment variable,
ye-
sorry, if we are
yes.
to create an
An
environment
environment variable.
variable, yes, is working for the entire workspace, everything under the whole workspace, right?
In as much as you are in that environment.
Yes, in as much as they're there. But for the collection, it's just for a particular collection. Let's say under this get collection, and any collection you create and you reference just that variable is working for only that collection.
Yes, it's working for not the request per se. It's working for this. This authorization is a collection. This clusters is a collection. This end
Yes,
to end. Yes, it's working for a particular
collection.
collection I created it for.
Okay, thank
Yes.
you.
All right. So the last. Do you understand, everyone? Do you have any other question? All right. So we want to move on to the last type of variable, which is the global variable. So global variable is a variable that has a wide scope. Like this is not limited to either you're in a collection. This is not limited to either you're in an environment. This is not limited to any, it's kind of wide, it's broad. You can use it in as well as create a global variable. You can use it within the workspace. You don't have to change your collection. You don't have to change your environment. I want us to change our environment back to no environment. And let's go back to where we reference this bearer token. Then we will see that we'll be having red instead of blue because we are not in that environment. So we know this variable, the postman did not understand this variable because it's not in any environment. Or change your production from your production environment to another environment, you will still be having red. You will still be having red. Have you tried that? So that's the limitation of environment variable. Like this, if you created if you create an environment variable, right, like it is limited to the environment you are working with. If you try to change your environment, then the variable, you'll not be able to reference the variable again. So if you know that you need a variable that you can reference globally, right, you just create it as a global variable, not as a collection variable, not as a environment variable, but this time around, you create it as a collection variable. I'm sorry, as a global variable. So how do we create a global variable? You will come to, currently they have changed the UI. You come to this environment and you come to this global. You come to this global. You will click on it and you will create your variable here. Do you understand? You don't need to rename. It is global. You don't need to rename. You are not creating. This is going to affect everything within the scope. So you just want to add variable to it. So let's say we want to call this global and our URL is still the same. And I save. Then I come to this where's that get request? Okay. Get all. Okay. So let me come back to my collection. I want to use this post, the authorization. Okay, this is what I want to use. So I'll reference the global here. So I'll reference my global here, then I will send. So you see that I can create successfully. Now I'm not in any environment. I can decide to change this to no environment and I will still send my request. It will not affect it because it's a global variable. And I can use it not only in this authorization collection, I can come to this other collection also, this class tags collection, and I can reference it here also. I can reference it here also. Global. And I can send my request. Have you done that?
Okay, ma, but if it's a different URL for another collection of another project entirely, that means there'll be no need for you to use global, right?
I don't understand. If it's a different
Okay,
URL for
if it's a different project, but you're
okay,
working on an API testing,
okay.
you cannot use global as a variable, bar.
You can use global. Don't forget that if you not call the variable, it will not come.
Okay.
So you can decide to use the variable anytime. If you know you are testing maybe like 3 different applications, you can decide to input the 3 different application URL, their base URL as a global variable with different name. Do you get now? Oh, let's
Yes,
go
ma'am.
back to this. Yes, let's go back to this global. Now, another thing I want to mention is we can add as many as variable we want. It cannot be more. Let's say I have global, I can have Taiwo. Let's assume this is another application, right? With another URL. And I can have anything else. Becca. So, but we can change the URL. Like it can be another URL. Maybe this like 3 different application I'm working with. I'm working with this global, I'm working with this Taiwo application, I'm working with this Becca application. So anytime I need to test the global application, instead of writing the URL, I'll just come to the global the request that is meant to use the global, and I'll reference the global. Then I know that anytime I'm referencing the global is actually referencing this URL. And this URL can be anything. You can change it to another URL entirely. Becca, do you understand now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I understand. Thank you.
All right. So have you tried to test the global variable? Have you tried to test the global variable? Everybody?
Yes, ma, it is working.
Okay. So do you understand? So that's all about the variable. We have the local variable, we have the data variable, we have the collection, we have the collection, we have the environment, and we have the global. So each of them has limitation. The only one that allow you to access on every collections on any environment is actually the global. Is actually the one that is most generic out of the other types of variables we have. So another thing is I want us to look at is that we can add our variable using scripts. Using scripts, we can set our variable using scripts. Next class, we'll be going to scripting properly, but let's just write some scripts for variable first. Mm, mm. Then we can call it a day. Okay. So we have the get and the set method in JavaScript. We have the get and the set method. So anytime we are setting the get method, we're actually calling, we're actually trying to get a variable from the, like we have created something, we ask it to return the value back to us. Like when we set a get, when we send a get, when we send the get method, a get method is like, okay, just say a get method, like you have put money in your bank, for example, right? You now want to withdraw your money. So you want to get, if you do not have money in the bank, right, you will not be able to withdraw your money. So you have actually set a value, then you're asking the method to give you back what you have. Now for the set variable is like you want to input a value. You want to input a value before you want to assign it, or you just want to input a value. I want to set this. I want to set a particular variable to be an environment variable. For example, I want to set a particular variable to be an environment variable. I want to set a particular variable to be a collection variable. I want to set a particular variable to be environment,
Hello,
collection,
ma.
local, anything. So that is
Um,
what the set method is used for. Someone mic is not muted.
yes, my own. I'm seeing something. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. But you're currently on your postman and it's not moving. So maybe what you're saying, I'm just hearing your voice. I'm not saying where and
Yes, I'm
how
just
you're
trying
doing
to
this.
explain. I'm not
So
actually, I'm just trying to explain, right? I'm just trying to explain the get and the set method.
okay, you can
Do,
continue.
do you
Sorry for
understand?
yes.
Okay. Now, in our scripts, in our postman scripts, we are going to have something like this. Let's come to any request and let's come to the script tab. Everybody, are we on the same page?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I continue?
Yes, you
Yes, ma'am.
can.
You
Okay, so who is trying to take notes? I'm sorry, I need to decline that. So in our pre-request script, right? We are going to add it. Pre-request scripts are just those scripts that we actually run before our request run. Like you want to send a request before this request actually run. We input the pre-request to check for those stuff first. Check if these things are true. before you run the request. And post request script actually check majorly what is in our response body, majorly what is in our response. We check for things that are in our response. After we have run our request, what are we getting? Now, PM dot variables. We are working with variables. So PM dot variables So we are using the set. Okay, this time around, we want to set a particular variable for a particular variable. Are we supposed to use the set or the get? Do you understand the set and the get method before I continue?
No, I don't understand.
Okay. We have the set method and the get method. The set method is actually going to input a value or to create a value. Like, and the get method, right, is actually going to retrieve or to give you the value you've actually have. Do you understand, Victor? So when you're trying to use a set, yes, when you're trying to set, you're trying to use a set method, you're trying to create, right? Let me just use it like that. And when you're trying to use a get method, you're trying to fetch. You're trying to
Okay.
fetch from
Yeah.
yes. So now I want to create our variable. Want to create our variable using the scripts. Want to create our variable using the script. All these variables that you have actually created, want to create it using the script method. So Victor, can I continue?
Yeah, I'm with you now.
All right. So pm.variable.set we open our bracket, right? The key, you can see when I set pm.variable.set is actually asking for key and value. Is asking for key and value. And your key will now be, when you want to create this record, right? You have this, your name and your URL. The same thing. Where's that tab? Now I can say my name, like anything, right? URL and the URL. Then we terminate it using this. We terminate it using this semicolon. This is actually how we set a variable. Now I can set a global variable using the same method. pm.global.set. Then you use the same thing, right? Your key can be anything, just the same way you were creating it the other day, but now you are writing a script instead. And your value will be your URL. Where did I copy you? So we can also set our environment, pm.environment.set, right? . Then you have your key, anything, right? And this also, the URL. And I can also set collection here, pm.collection variable dot set. And we have the variable name as this URL. Value as this. So you can also set your variable using this method. Maybe you want to run a script and you forget that, okay.
You want to cause confusion in my head.
What is causing confusion? Which aspect is causing confusion?
No, you are doing all these things, and we are doing it under the classwork, under select, and we are setting all these things in the script. Then I'm asking myself, when do we not get the results? Because I just feel like if you send any request using all of this information, what data will be fetched? If we can do it one after another, getting the data that will come out for each one that we set in the script.
I'm just trying to tell you the examples of variables you can set using the set method, which is not limited to, do you get? I'm just trying to set, like, these are the same thing. The only thing that changes here is this one is for variables, this one is for global, this one is for environment, and this one is for collection. Which are those, how am I going to say? Those variables we've also created manually.
Okay, those things we did manually, we can do it
Yes,
here
yes,
by
we can do
scripting
it
it.
using a script. I'm just trying to tell you the examples. Like we can have the pm.variables, we can have the global. If you want to create a global variable, right? You will
Okay,
just
this is how
want
we set
to,
it.
yes, you just set it here. Let's just, like, for example, you can use your global variable. Like I want to set a new global variable. I have an existing global variable. Let me just
Yeah,
check.
why don't we use, since you have set the variable and data variable, let's use it to get the data, because this thing you just set, what you have set now, yeah, if I understand it very well, you have set it under a particular get request. Can it now apply to every other? You set it under get request in select.
I don't understand your question, Victor.
Okay, the variable we are setting before now,
Yes.
can we go back to it?
Where's okay. Okay.
Yeah, so my question is, we are doing it under a classwork collection at get at a get request for select, titled select. Now, my question is, if we are setting all these requests in the scripted way here now, how then do we make use of it? Can we make use of it one after another?
And we are setting it, we are not making, for now, we are trying to create these variables. We are not using it. Set, as I've
I
explained
want to
earlier,
see
right?
how we put it to practice, how we use it. Setting it, yeah, set one, put it to practice, put it to work. Let's see how it works. Then we can set the second one, because except you want to do everything once, then that is, to me, is giving me a lot of information at the same time, and I cannot compare. Sorry.
Okay, Victor, you have to let me explain, right? You see, I've run this script now.
Okay.
If I come to my global variable, if I come to my global variable here, right? And where is this request? If I'm trying to set a request here, let's just go over it one after the other. So in this same script, right? It's my console that will actually do justice to this. Okay, I have to actually hold this. So okay, so this is what I was trying to do before, right? I was trying to tell us how the set variable actually work. Then if I've created the set variable, then I'll be able to use the get method to reference the variable, right? Like if I set pm.global_variable.set, I'm setting this as a global variable. Then I can use the get method. I can use the get method to retrieve the variable within the same script. So how do we do that now? You have the pm dot this script will actually help us to set our variable, either global, either environment, and either global, either environment, or either collection variable. And we will use this get to actually get the results. Now, let me just hold this to the base URL equals to I'm coming. I feel like that's supposed to work. Okay. So we can have something like this. Okay. So this is it. This particular variable was set within this response, this pre-request tab, and is a global variable. So I actually use this base URL. I need to hold, I use this base URL to hold this property. I use this base URL. I've told you about local variable. When we are talking about local variable, we said we use the first type of variable we talked about is the local variable. And we said it's actually using the pre-request script. And we have the scope to be let, var, or constant. And what are we just trying to do? We're just trying to keep a particular variable inside. We are just trying to keep a particular variable inside. So that is what I actually did here. So now let's go over it again. Now, in this request, I created a global variable. I named the global variable here as base. I named the global variable here as base URL. Then I use this also to get the global variable. What I'm telling this Postman script to do is that whenever you want to run this request, use this base URL that is being referenced or that is being created within this collection script. Do you understand? Victor, do you understand now? Do you want me
No,
to
I don't
explain?
understand. Please come
Okay.
again.
Okay. Now let's do it together. If I removed it, let's do it together, right? Okay, set it as global variable. It will be there. Unless I remove it.
My question again is, can these scripts be done on any of the requests?
Yes, it can be done on any of the requests.
Okay.
Yes, it is not specific to a particular request.
And once you do it in any of the requests, it can apply to every other request.
It depends on the kind of variable you are setting.
Yeah, like you set a global request on any of them,
Yes.
it can apply to every other one.
Yes, it can apply to every other one.
Okay.
For example, if I come to this limit and script, since I sent this, I feel like I set a global request, right? Hold on, please. Base URL. This base URL is for the collection. This is not global. This is not a global. Let me run the script again. Okay, let us all try to run the script together. Now let's go to any of the requests in our collection, in our clusters collection. Let's just try to work it together so it won't be like as if I'm trying to do it alone. Are we there? Can I continue?
Yeah, we are with you.
All right, so now let's go to the script tab. Let's come to the script tab. So we have first want to set pm dot set pm dot no, let's set environment first, or let's set collection first. Pm dot collection variable dot set. Then we have what we are setting. Our key can be URL, and our value can be the URL. I feel like I've copied a lot of this. Okay. So now I said this is actually the script that we enable us to set a collection variable. Now let's so we are trying to make this script. We are trying to make this script. We are trying to hold the property of this script in this base URL. That whatsoever, whenever we call this base URL, it will return back to us the variable that was set in this script. Do we understand? Can we move on? Have we done that?
Hi,
Hello?
Taiwo.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, can you hear? Okay, but the first one you didn't use let. I saw var.
Yes, you can use var, you can use let, you can use const.
Oh, okay, they are all the same thing.
No. If you are using let, it actually have limits. If you are using var, it actually has limits. And if you are using const, it actually have limits. But you can use anyone. But you can use var.
Okay, limit to what? What do you mean by limits?
What do you say?
I said limit to what? Like, what do you mean by limit? How limited is it?
Like when you are using let, const, or var, like it's for the let, right? It actually has the number of, I don't know how am I going to explain this?
It's like each of them
Like
have several.
the var is actually kind of like let's assume it to be like kind of global. Like it actually have a wide functions. Like it's actually kind of global. I don't know. But if you are using the let, like the let is actually within, it's actually within this is JavaScript, right? So the let actually has some kind of limits. Like it's blocked within a variable. Like it's not like you are trying to go further. And if you are trying to use var, the var is actually you are trying to declare like it's kind of generic. Like you can use it anywhere when you want to call it. And constant, it does not change. Constant, but the constant does not change. It's actually something that is more global than the var. I feel like the let is actually the one that has a less limit, followed by the var, and the next one is the constant. The constant actually has a higher limit, when you're trying to use it, it has a higher edge above the let and the var. So when you need to declare a let variable, it means that like it has some set of how am I going to call it? This programming language, but I know that the let does not really allow you to use it anywhere like that. if I set let, I might not be able to use it beyond this script. If I set a cons, I feel like I should be able to use it beyond this block of code and reference it anywhere, since it's a constant and it does not change. I don't know if you understand. You can also read further on it. It is a pure JavaScript language. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So can we proceed now?
Yes.
Okay, so let's use anyone. We can use the let, we can use the var, we can use the const. The three are actually the same thing. You can still use them for this purpose. So do you have something like this on our screen? Can I continue?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have the same thing. Then the basement, is it like, can we name it any other thing, or must it be that
You can name it
base
any
UI?
other thing. You
Okay,
can name it
okay.
any other thing. It is just a naming convention. It must not be visual. You can name it any other thing.
So,
Okay,
Mandy,
thank
any
you.
other thing that you mean? Is it the same name that we have under our variable?
No, you are trying to create a new variable.
Okay.
It's not necessarily the same name as the one we have on our existing variable. We are trying to create a new variable. So can we continue now? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we send it this way, or we want to create another thing?
No, I want us to get it and set it as our variable.
Okay, what
pm
else?
dot collection variable dot get, then we actually input the base URL. Then you come to this place and you reference this base URL. Will I be able to let me send my script first. Oh, sorry, no. Come in. I don't know why the base URL is actually for. Trying to check what's can be wrong. Okay. No. Sorry, I'm trying to check what could be wrong with the codes. I feel like it's supposed to actually work. So the one I have here is unfortunately not from. So the topic is give us prophesy about the destruction of the temple. Don't know if I'm correct. I don't know if anyone is. There's a void. Because then you I don't really trying to check. Okay, now remember about the book of Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. Remember about the book of Matthew chapter 24, verse 2. Matthew chapter 24, verse 2. And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things, very I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. So this is the prophecy of Jesus Christ about the temple that was built in Jerusalem. So Jesus is prophesying about the destruction of the temple. So Jesus said unto them, see not all these things, very I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. Now, what are the objectives of the lesson? What do you want to know about the lesson? So the first one is that we should be able to tọ́ka sí àwọn ọ̀nà tí kò tọ̀nà tí àwọn ènìyàn gbé fi owó fún ibi ìjọsìn ní ọ̀nà tó wà. You be able to point, you be able to point us the ways that are not good, in which people use money in churches today. So at the end of the lesson, so we should also be able to talk about our reaction. So what should be our reaction when we see politicians? One of the questions, by the time we go ahead, we'll be able to start that, able to everyone like that. Even when we see politicians trying to help to build a particular church project, and the motive behind it, if maybe the motive is just for them to campaign, maybe when they get them. So what should be our reaction? If you welcome them and collect the money from them and pay to them, so that's the one. Then you must be able to ní òye iṣẹ́ tí Jésù ti jẹ́ nípa ìparun tẹ́ḿpìlì ní Jerusalem àti ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tí ó rọ̀ mọ́. So what Jesus is really saying about the destruction of the temple and the deceit that are associated to it, so we must be able to understand it. Then the last one is also very important is that we must be able to take evangelism as a very great priority. But for the mission, you will take it as a major priority and must be ready to that is the sound when you not here. You must be ready to go to the ups now. We still have some nations, we still have some towns, we still have some cities that they don't even have about Christ. You know, like this thing, but we need to the last question here about Jesus Christ, very sure that is when Jesus Christ will come. So we still have some people that have not even heard of this policy. So we must take it as priority, be able to go and evangelize. I don't really know what's wrong with this code. I feel like it's supposed to work. I don't know why it's not working. I don't know. Now, introduction here, they talk about an incident that happened in the year 2011. So that was on the 9th of November. That was Ọjọ́ Kọkànlá, oṣù Kọkànlá. That's November, Ọjọ́ Kẹsàn-án, 2011. So They said that there is a very big market in New York. So they said yes, I got one in New York, that's abroad. Let's try this. That goes down to market. Like it's a very big economy. So I tried to check online for this about this because I don't know about this thing. So I tried to check online, but Google was not really bringing anything. So she would make it more like about that market. For all what Amanda is saying about the market, there was a great market before the market was very big, in which people even go as tourist centers, markets have a tourist center because of the structure. The land that they wrote it here in the about the control and the high. I think it was I don't fast through. Okay, to our oríṣiríṣi. So they shall narrate the big structure of that market and what the serve as an economy, business center. Unfortunately, it was being attacked by Qatar, according to what I read, by Iraq. So they attacked this market in 2011. And the attack was a sudden one, was an unexpected one. According to this writer, it held up to now, the no business of the state as they taken it. For that, it destroyed that the in the sense that maybe the building collapse or maybe the building collapse. So what this is not trying to tell us is that there's one thing we should know that, like Jesus said, like Jesus said, there's one thing I want to know about the things is prophecy. That's Matthew chapter 24, verse 2. And that's Jesus said, see, not all this very nice of initiation be. Let's hear one thing of one another that shall not be seen. There's one objective that also one boy one of us know is that as in Yoruba will see that there is nothing with the control of income. So there is nothing like now. I learned that when this man was they call his man Dollar will tell them that people who are genuine will over but we can see now that people after how wealthy it was, the wealth for nobody, even if they are ranking maybe let's say we want to rank the first 10 wealthy people in this country, not even let's get the world. So when it's no longer went to the farm, the people being sure as in so that's one thing we should raise get as far as the objective and which I believe we all know that this thing that no matter how as a so what me because I know that if most of us have done mentality to be able to keep God, to be able to serve, it's God that give me this soul. Let me just return it back to me because no matter how much it is, but let me just start giving back to God because that means giving and building my house in heaven. Because no matter how rich you are, no matter how wealthy you are, if somebody is gone, that everything is gone. Though you can transfer generational wealth, it goes that you're transferring the generational wealth to, if they are not working, the wealth you also work, the wealth to die, to collapse. Come on. So we should take it from that. So now further said say bákan náà nínú abala kíkà àti èyí kò ní kó yẹ àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀rí bí tẹ́lifù ìyá rẹ̀. Now I get it. Yeah. So I'm just trying to summarize the introduction. So the introduction was that when Jesus said the prophecy, the disciples I don't know why. That the temple that was built for God now made this instruction that he does destroy in a day. So but they don't know that Jesus was just speaking to them in parable. Jesus was speaking to them in parable. Now àlàyé lórí ẹ̀kọ́, before we go to àlàyé lórí ẹ̀kọ́, I don't know maybe okay, let me quickly read because of our time. So our Bible reading is taken from Matthew chapter 24, verse 1 to 14. Matthew chapter 24, verse 1 to 4. Okay. So that we'll avoid repetition of reading, maybe we should just go to the classification of the lesson. Because in this classification of the lesson, we have the Bible reading. The first one we have Matthew 24, verse 1 to 2. And then in the second aspect, we have Matthew 24, verse 3 to the Bible reading. Now the first one we have Yesu Kristi kéde ìparun tẹ́ḿpìlì náà. Yesu Kristi kéde ìparun tẹ́ḿpìlì náà. That's Matthew chapter 24, verse 1 to 2. Matthew chapter 24, verse 1 to 2. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why this is not working. I'll try to so as not
Can
to
we
waste
do
our
it
time.
properly
Right?
by next class?
Yes,
Thank
we
you
are going to
again.
go over it. We are going to go over it again. I'll try to check with the reason why it's not working, so as not to waste our time, right? So I'll try to get to it and check. Since we're having it now in our console, we're having this URL now in our console. I don't know why it's not getting referenced here. So I'll try to check with it. So by next class, thank God we want to start with our scripting next class also. So by next class, we'll be able to start from that and we'll be able to go to the scripting properly. So
Thank you, ma.
yeah, you're welcome.
Can we ask questions in respect of our tax?
Hello, yeah, Victor, you can ask question regarding your tax.
Okay, I just feel like yeah, some of us we pass the task, some of us are still struggling with it. But then again, some of us need like a comment. Maybe you scored 80 or 90, a comment to know okay where you should improve or what you have not gotten right. Help us to get perfect on it.
A comment,
Just
right?
yes, of what we have not done
If
well
your
or
document,
what
if your document is actually accessible, I'll add a comment if you're not getting it. And I feel like I'm not really adding comments for people that I think they need to make adjustment, right? I sent message to them on the Discord channel. I feel like that would be more faster because most of the time I add comment to people's scripts, whatever they submit. Most of them will not even regard the comments and they will still come back and tell me they have fixed it. So for people that needed to work on anything, I added the comment. And for people that I don't know, for people that scored 80, I feel like um, two things can lead to that, right? Maybe the person did not test more of negative scenarios, right? That might actually lead to getting 80. That's just it. But that does not mean you did not do the tax.
okay, thank you so much.
All right. Do you have another question?
No.
Okay. So do we have another question? I'm going to go over the how the postman setting and getting of URL work. I don't think it's supposed to take much stress like that. I'm going to go over it again possibly tomorrow, right? Before next class, I'll come back with a solution. All right, Samuel.
My
Samuel,
assignment has not been graded.
yeah?
My assignment has not been graded yet.
When did you submit? Today?
Yesterday.
Samuel, I sent a message to you on Discord. I was unable to tag you. Go and check. Yes. I feel like I sent a message to you on Discord.
No, the last message.
Yes, you can check the Discord. I guess I sent a message to you on Discord. All right, do you have
What was
another
my
question?
message about? What was my message about? Because I've not
I
seen
can't
where I
even
was
remember.
tagged.
You will need to go and check. I can't even remember. I know I was checking tax and I sent message to people on Discord if your tax is not right. You have to check. I
Yeah,
can't
I've
even
not.
remember what the message is about.
I checked yesterday. I checked today also. Okay.
You check today
Okay,
too.
you said I'm not able to. Okay, I've seen it. See, you're not
Yes.
able to access my postman collection.
Yes. So you need to work on that.
I'll do that immediately.
All right. All right. Do you have any question regarding the tax? Okay. So we'll actually continue from the postman set and get next class. All right. Good night, everyone. be a place that we are going to worship God, and see if we want to go and worship God. They have God authority on the based
Good
on
night.
what we have here. We must be careful